Ever wondered how security professionals find vulnerabilities before hackers do? Not by guessing, not by scanning the internet. They build controlled environments and then they test them. In this video, we're going to build a vulnerability scanning environment. If cybersecurity ever felt overwhelming, this is exactly where it starts to make sense. We'll move slowly, one step at a time. Most real attacks don't start with advanced exploits. They start with simple problems. Outdated software, misconfigurations, systems nobody checked. Vulnerability scanning is how defenders find vulnerabilities early, so attackers don't find them first. To understand this better, we need a safe environment. That's why we need a lab. A lab is isolated. Nothing here is production, nothing here touches the internet. It's where mistakes are allowed. This is how attackers learn. The difference is, we're doing this ethically. Our lab has 3 components. Kali Linux, our security workstation, OWASP Juice Shop, our target, and Nessus, our vulnerability scanner. This is all done in the same isolated environment, making this safe for practice. We'll start with Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a security-focused operating system that comes preloaded with tools that professionals actually use. Kali Linux is already ready to go, and we can start hacking. Let's actually set that up. So the first thing you need is actually VirtualBox. You go to virtualbox.org here, hit download. You're going to need to install this for your operating system. I have Windows 10, so I'll do Windows host. You get the download done here, and then you go ahead through the setup and you'll get VirtualBox installed. I already have it, so it looks something like this. This is what your VirtualBox will look like. Now we can run virtual machines on VirtualBox. But in order to do that, we need to download the virtual machine first. So you can do a quick Google search too. Do Kali Linux download. Get Kali here, the first link. You're going to want to install the virtual machine one here, the recommended. And then go ahead and click the VirtualBox download button here. Hit download. That'll download the ISO. Go ahead and click download here. It's about 3 gigabytes, so it might take a little bit. So we'll download that and then we'll come back. So I already had the file downloaded. You'll get a zip file here. Either you have 7-zip or some other zip unzipping software that you can use here. And go ahead and open that up. So I already have one. I'll do open with 7-zip console. That ended up doing nothing. What you can also do is just go up here and do extract all. So you're going to want to extract all onto here. Extract all, sure. Looks like I already have the file itself. Go ahead and just click next and then extract it. It'll take a few seconds. Once you open the folder, there'll be another folder inside. Click that and you'll be presented with something like this. Now all you have to do here is just open up this VirtualBox machine definition file. Just double click on that. Bam, that'll open up the virtual machine on VirtualBox that we saw earlier. And there you go. It'll load up. It'll run VirtualBox, not VirtualBox. It'll run Kali Linux. Hit enter there. Who knows how long this may take? Oh my goodness. Cool. So now, username and password. Default is Kali. And now you have Kali Linux on a virtual machine, on VirtualBox, on your computer. Next is OWASP Juice Shop. It's a web application that was intentionally made vulnerable so we can practice how to hack. It was built to teach real-world security flaws. SQL injections, broken authentication, and insecure configurations. These mere vulnerabilities exploited every day. So let's go set that up. So you can look it up, github.com, OWASP Juice Shop. I'll put the link in the description. But essentially, just scroll down here in the main repo. We're going to want to do this Vagrant style download and install. So you're going to have to install Vagrant, and we already have VirtualBox. So I'll just click this button here. We're going to want to go to Windows, whichever processor you have. I have AMD 64, download that, and then just run through the process there. This is going to require a restart, so restart your machine, then come back. Cool, now that you're back, we're going to need to download this repository. You're going to need something called Git as well to be able to download this. If you haven't already downloaded Git Bash for Windows, definitely recommend doing that. So Git Bash here, and I've already downloaded this repository, but all you have to do is follow that command there, git clone the repo, and you can run this cd vagrant up. Juice Shop, and then cd into vagrant, and then vagrant up. This will essentially create a virtual machine on VirtualBox, and you'll be able to see it like this. It'll show up like this one. You should have this virtual machine up. Now what you're going to want to do here, very important, you're going to want to turn off the Kali Linux machine. So stop it, power off. Cool. Now we have to do some kind of networking. So you're going to want to go to Tools, go to NAT Networks, and make sure you have a NAT network here created. You can name it whatever you want. You can have your own IP range. Just use the one I have. Enable DHCP. Cool. Then Kali Linux, right-click, Settings, go to Network. Make sure you have two adapters. Here we're going to need the second adapter to connect to the internet, just so we can download Nessus later. So enable the first adapter, NAT network, the one we just made, and then the second one to NAT. So that'll connect you to your local internet, the one you have. And then same thing over here on Vagrant, Settings, Network. You'll have NAT if you want it. You don't need it, but you definitely need the NAT network. So go ahead and change that, NAT network. Now they're both in the isolated network. So now I should be able to communicate with both. Let's go ahead and just simply turn both of them on. Cool, let's log in. What we want to do is figure out if these IPs are going to be able to talk to each other. So they should be on the same network. And if they're not, we'll make sure they are. You can do if config here. So we see this top address 10.0.2.7. That's the network we did on the NAT network. Now let's go to the other machine. Shoot, I think here the login is Vagrant. Cool. And the same command, if config. Ooh, I cannot see all of them. So what I'll do, oh, actually I see it there though. 10.0.2.9, cool. So now they can communicate. They should be able to communicate. So let me ping that machine, 10.0.2.9. Cool, now we're talking to it. Perfect. We have OWASP and we have Kali Linux. Now we're missing the vulnerability scanner. Next is Nessus. Nessus doesn't break into systems, but it identifies weaknesses. It checks software versions, configurations, and known vulnerabilities. This is a defender's visibility. So let's go set that up. Now, in order for us to use Nessus, we're gonna have to download it first. You could just do a Google search, and the one we want is called Nessus Essentials. This one here. I'm gonna do this inside of Kali Linux, so we can use that as the attacker machine. You're gonna need to register here for a 30-day free license. So you only get 30 days, but you can always get new emails. So go ahead, do that. You'll get sent an email with a code on there. You're gonna need that later. So I'm gonna go ahead and probably do this. I'm gonna do this a different way. Temp email. Let's see if this works. I've never tried this. I've tried temp emails, but not necessarily signing up for things using temp emails. Now, obviously, if you're gonna do this, you probably shouldn't pay anything with this. Cool. You can download Nessus here. Go ahead and download that. You're gonna wanna choose your distribution here. So I have Debian for Kali Linux. So we'll do that there, here. Download, agree. Then I'll download up here. Once that's done, we'll go from there. I believe I got an email in my temporary email, which I did. I'm gonna use this. This is gonna be my code. Feel free to take it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not gonna last long. After 30 days, it's done. You can get another one. So we'll go ahead and open this up. So this is the actual package. Now it's not gonna do anything. You're gonna need to use a Debian package manager, simply a package manager. So we can actually go to CD downloads. You're gonna need sudo for this, sudo dpkg for the package manager here on Debian. Do I for install, and then the actual name of the file. Yeah, there you go. And then enter. Kali. That'll install it for you. Let that go through, and then we'll come back. All right, we're back. So in order to start it, you need to type in this command here. So I'm just gonna copy paste this. Cool. Now it started the service, and it's gonna be on port 8834. Since it's on our machine, it's gonna be local. So just go to your browser, do localhost 8834, and it should take us to Nessus. There we go, initializing. So now we need to set this up. We have the code. All we need is to get a license. So we'll do that as well. So once this is ready, we'll come back. All right, we're back. Now that Nessus is done initializing here, we're gonna go ahead and click continue. You're going to want to do register with Nessus Essential down here, and then skip this step since we already did this. Skip here. We're going to want to get our activation code. So that email they sent you in our temporary email, you should have it something like this. Copy, and this should work. Continue. Activation code. Continue. Username and password. I'm just going to do a username. And now this is going to initialize. Let this download, it's going to get the plugins, and then after it has to download the plugins, and then we can continue from there. So now that your plugins are done, you should see this. Plugins are done compiling. Cool. Now we're going to want to do our first scan. Go to scans up here. You're going to want to enter a range of targets. In our case, we only have one machine, the OWASP machine. So go ahead and type in that IP address. And before that, just confirm that that's actually the IP. So go back to that machine. This one's starting up again. So that's the correct IP address. So go ahead and do that. Hit submit. And then go ahead and hit run scan. Oh, discovering host. I don't need to do this. Create a new scan here. And we're going to want to do basic network scan. Just say this is the OWASP juice drop. And then put the target, put the IP down again, 10.0.2.9. Hit save. And then you're going to want to click here on this little launch button. That'll launch the scan. So it'll start scanning that host for all these different things that it could have. So that's running. Now let's go back. Let's close that. Let's do a new scan. And let's also do a scan for maybe advanced scan. Call it whatever you need to call it. Give it the same IP, 0.2.9. Save. We'll go ahead and run that as well. Run. And then we'll do one more. Do the host discovery. Let's do host discovery. We'll do the same IP here, 10.2.9. Save. And then go ahead and run that. So it looks like a lot of these are finishing. So you could go ahead and click on the scan here. I don't know what it's asking. I'm just trying to see the results now. Looks like it didn't find anything. Looks like they all finished, but nothing came in. So let's try to do one more thing here. We might be putting the IP in wrong. No, it should be fine. Let's launch it again. Let's see if it works. Monitor. Let's see if we should be able to connect to it. Oh, that's why. We're not able to connect. So let's go back and see 10.0.2.9. That is the correct one. Maybe one of our cables is not connected. Let's make sure we're both connected. Interesting. Why is this not working? 11. So let's try to ping the other way. Nothing is coming in. Unreachable. So let's try to figure this out. There we go. So I went ahead and just simply disconnected the other adapter that was on there, which honestly we should have done anyways because we want these to be isolated. So feel free to disconnect it and also disconnect it from the other machine. It shouldn't be on there, but if you wanted to keep it isolated, disconnect both. We should only have the one for the local network. After that, we don't need internet access. We only needed it for downloading Nessus, but now that we have it, good to go. So now let's go and perform these scans. Launch the scan, default. I will run all of them and we'll be right back. All right, our scans have been going on for a little bit. Let's go to the OWASP juice shop scan. Now here we can see there's been 20 vulnerabilities that have been found. On here, the severity is on the left. You have low, mixed, and info. It says here we have some critical. Let's go to that. It's probably this mixed one. Yes, look at all these critical ones. Let's open one of these up. This one says Apache Web Servers, CVS score 9.8. Apache version 2.4.49, multiple vulnerabilities. The version of Apache HTTPD installed on the remote host prior to this version is therefore, oh, what happened there? Affected by multiple vulnerabilities. May write beyond the end of the buffer when malicious input is given. Ooh, that is not good. And there's a null pointer vulnerability there. And the CV. Cool. There's a lot of detail here. It gives us the links themselves to where we should go and check these vulnerabilities out. More vulnerability information, the vulnerability IDs down here. And which host and what route, port 80. So this is also trying to give us a recommended fix here. Go to the newer version. So obviously you can take this, it's going to keep scanning and you'll get a bunch of more vulnerabilities because this is a specific target that was made vulnerable. There's a lot more to this. There's a bunch of plugins, there's custom scans you can make. You can modify these scans. You can do essentially a lot of different cool things. So now you've made your first scan, you're in your first lab, and you can start scanning and start hacking. When the scan starts, Nessus follows a process. First discovery, then enumeration, and then evaluation. This mirrors how attackers gather information, but we're doing it defensively. Results are ranked by severity: critical, high, medium, and low. But this isn't about panic, it's about prioritization. So this is where the scanner stops and analysts actually start to begin. Finding vulnerabilities is step one. Next comes remediation, then comes validation, and then eventually exploitation. If vulnerability scanning felt intimidating, now you know exactly what's happening. Build the lab, run the scan, understand the results. This is how cybersecurity actually starts. Quietly, methodically, with understanding. This is only the beginning.